Well, today we're having an unexpected adventure. We're going up an old mining road, and I'm not going to give the exact location because I don't want a bunch of ATVers and everything coming up here. Most of the property is private, although it's mixed in Forest Service. But it's been very interesting. We're going to head up and we're going to look for an old mine. There once was a town of 800 people living up here, and we'll see if we can find that area. But I just want to give you an idea of what the road is like. You got to really know what you're doing. So you have to be careful. Here gives you an idea of what some of the areas of the roads can look like. We had a really wet spring. In fact, all of the month of June, it pretty much rained. So these roads can be treacherous, but this is a really interesting part of the country. I know there have been some really unusual UFO sightings way back in the 70s, and some of that information is now just coming out into the open. So it's pretty interesting. It's very remote. Mining in its heyday back in the 1860s, there were a lot of people tearing up the country here. Oh, okay, while we're driving up this road, let me give you a little information about this area. This is above Virginia City. Virginia City, Montana, of course, was a big town during the gold rush days. And the gold that they got out of Virginia City was mostly placer gold. In other words, it was just the gold that they could find in whatever rock that they could dig. They actually never did find the mother lode. The mother lode is the main source where all the veins of gold are. And so they kept looking and looking for the mother lode. And that's why you see tailings and digging sites all through the area, all the way down another 10-20 miles to Alder and Alder Gulch. Of course, now it's been remediated and you don't see the same kind of look, but up until just a couple years ago you could actually see how they went through the rock, and it was a lot of work for those miners. Well, and of course they didn't have developed roads like this that we're driving on. This was pretty rough going. Most of them just walked, and they had a pick and a bedroll on their backs. They were determined to find that mother lode. I just thought it'd be kind of fun for some people to see what it's like driving up a mountain road. It's pretty densely forested here. We think we're on the right track. You can never be too sure, so we just kept driving up this road, and we actually did find Summit City. We'll get there here in just a bit. I just wanted to keep showing the road. Not too bad in here, just so you always got to watch out. And another reason we're kind of curious about going up here is because I have visited with some hunters who were up in this area in the 70s, and a huge UFO was spotted on the other side of the ridge there. So I thought that was pretty interesting, because nowadays we're getting all kinds of information about these UFO sightings. Okay, so I think we're getting fairly close to Summit City. Now, the reason they kept going up is because they thought that, well, if they go up, they'll get closer to the rock, and, hopefully they're looking for the mother lode. Okay, so I'll just speed this drive up a little bit. Okay, so we've arrived, and this is remnants of Summit City. Is really just a little known ghost town now, but it was pretty interesting. Just kind of walking around and look at some of the old equipment that was left over and laying around, and I'll show you some of that. We'll be stopping up ahead here just a little bit, and I'll get out and walk around. So that's pretty interesting up there. I'll walk up there in just a bit. Just check around here a little. See what we've got. Wow. Huh. Look at all the cool welds and everything on this. Wow, look at this old engine in here. Well, there's our local resident. See him? Hi, squirrel. Huh. Doesn't quite understand what I'm doing here. Don't worry. Not gonna bug ya. Well, so way up there, some more interesting things. I'll have to head up that way. Look at that. Wild strawberries. Right there. Almost ready to be picked. Jeez, look at all this lumber. Really cool stuff. Okay, so that's kind of what I was curious about. So I guess I'll just walk up there. Well, there could be some holes. I don't know. I better go around the other way. There's an old foundation. Probably an old miner's cabin right here. Yeah, this was probably built in the 1860s, 70s, back in there. It's pretty nice up here now, but boy, in the middle of the winter, whew, not a pleasant place to be. So there's their dredge or whatever. That's probably what that engine was for. So here's an old sawmill. This is where the timbers were made for the mining operation. Let's check out this equipment here. Look at this nice, wow. It's about, I'd say 3 inches thick. That'd make for some strong timbers. So there's a creek running down here, a little mountain stream or spring. It's coming, looks like it's coming right out here. Yep, here's where they were getting their water. Geez, old refrigerators like crazy. Gotta watch out for nails around here. Huh, look at this. There's some more equipment down here. I just want to check it out a little bit. So, give you a little 360. Yeah, now the wind's starting to come up. Kind of not the best time to be in the middle of the forest. It's hot, August. Temperatures have been in the 90s. Everything's still kind of green up here, so it's not real dried out yet. Well, at least they tried to make a nice neat pile of the leftover mining equipment. I don't want to be trespassing, so I probably won't be going down that road. Although I might be trespassing now, I don't really know. Anybody know what any of this stuff is? You could let me know in the comments. Gosh, look at all the pipes. Let's see what's over on the other side of this pile here. I think this is where the water's coming down. Oh no, just a big hole. Looking for gold. Always looking for gold. Let me go around. There. Just think that was built up there from that logging operation. Yeah, everywhere you go, you find holes where they're looking for gold. Okay, so we were leaving, looked down this road really closely. We thought it was a coyote, but it was way too big for a coyote, so we did some research. We think it was some kind of wolf. So this is slow motion, but he just stared at us for a few seconds. We were pretty far away, like probably 300 yards away. And then he just kind of meandered away. So that was pretty exciting. Really didn't expect to see a wolf. Okay, so that was the remains of Summit City, where they were looking for the mother lode. And now we're just heading on down the mountain. And I'll probably just pretty much fast forward this. It was a pretty drive back down. You might enjoy some of the scenery. We live in some pretty interesting country, and I never know when we're gonna head out on a trip, so I'm always trying to be prepared, and this was really fun. Going up into the mountains and checking on an old ghost town. Well, hope you enjoyed this adventure, and subscribe if you want to see more Travels with Lucky adventures. We're in Montana right now, exploring the country. Well, we're heading on down and wrapping this one up here pretty quick. If you watched it to the end, that's great. We never know what we're going to find on any given day at any given time. We're always ready.